God, Jehovah says she's buzzed in the back of her head.
That was the thing. I don't know if anybody even talked to her about it, because what can you say? You love Jehovah too much?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was another. There was a guy who was a real shuckster, and that was another stunt he pulled. Every time he got, and he was like, one time he like decked his wife in front of people,
really,
and stuff like that. And every time he would get, like, he was always getting himself in trouble. Like he would get caught. He'd get caught shoplifting, and it would be in the paper and stuff. And he always came back to, sorry, brothers. I guess I just love Jehovah so much that the stress of it all, it was his line he had all the time. It was like, and people, and his wife would do it too. It'd be like, he just loves Jehovah so much.
He had to break into that car.
That was his excuse, and it wasn't just for the elders. It would be for judges and policemen and everything. He'd say, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and I just love Jehovah. No, it's like, we all love Jehovah. And it's like, no. I really love Jehovah. And I remember him, he would even get offended when people would say, I love Jehovah too. And he's like, no, you don't understand what Jehovah and I have. It's different than what's going on with the rest of you. I have a personal relationship with Jehovah. And it's like, well, and people would correct him. They say, well, technically, we don't have a personal relationship with Jehovah or Jesus. It's not his fault, because sometimes it says, draw close to Jehovah. And then other magazines, it will remind you, you can't approach Jehovah unless you do it through the faithful and discreet slave. Yeah. And so it wasn't entirely his fault, but he would, I guess his mind was as jumbled as everyone else's, but he would. I remember one time I was in a group with him out in service, and I saw a 1970 Chevelle, and I said it was awesome, and he got blazing hot. I mean, it was just for a moment, but his anger flared, and then he cooled himself down, and like it took him about 4 seconds to cool down. But he said, Jehovah is awesome. Jehovah's creative works are awesome. A car is not awesome. And he like put me in my place too. And he was one of those where, but anyway, he would get, and he would get pissed when people would say, oh, Jehovah has blessed our family, because he would get jealous.
Yeah,
right. That he would because he said, yeah, exactly. Jehovah was his buddy. Jehovah was his imaginary friend, and he didn't like his imaginary. And he said, Jehovah loves everyone, but Jehovah and I have a special relationship. And he would, like his wife would talk about, to me, I really felt like he meant it, but to other people, they viewed it as a stunt, because his wife would have people visiting their house, and he would walk out in front of people and say, don't disturb me. I'm going into this room, I'm going to close the door, and I'm going to pray to Jehovah. It may be 2 or 3 hours. Do not disturb me. And he would point at people.
So they think it was a bit of a...
they thought it was a put. Thought it was a put on, because he was doing bad stuff all the time, that he was borrowing money from people, not paying them back. And when people would feel bad about asking him to return their money.